welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and we're here again for another episode of The Final Pour. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. All my returning viewers, you know how it goes. Come on in. So, what is The Final Pour? Well, it is the third and final part of these three-part series of a whiskey review that I do. So, the first part's off the rip. I get it home, crack it open, have the first pour, share my first impressions with you because you're the man or woman. So part two, we get it down about halfway. Kind of hard to tell because it's so dark. It's not completely, it is super dark, but you can see light. You can't see what's in there, of course, but halfway point is part two where we do the full review, give you all the information I can possibly muster up, and there it is. Part three is going to be all the way down here where we're at today, the final pour, or two, however it may be. It's very hard to tell with this one. I think I'm cutting it really close. Hopefully I get enough in there to do a good final pour review. So final pour, we get it down and we discuss whether or not the final pour is as good as the first pour or where it may lie in between. So with that being said, let's go ahead and on with the show. So yeah, I don't know how much is in there because I can't see it. Oh, barely. Okay. Yep, I'd say barely. Let's see. Let's do a viscosity check. Not too bad. It still looks like it's got some relatively decent viscosity still going on. On the nose, still smells like rose water gin. I would have to say that the nose is kind of hanging in there. It wasn't very strong or pungent on the off the rip or for the full review halfway. But the final pour is surprisingly still holding on to a pretty decent nose. I mean, for what it is. I mean, for this Flora Adora Hendricks Scottish gin. I think maybe it's got a little bit more bite on the nose. Before it was kind of muted. Now it doesn't seem that muted. That's interesting. But let's move on to part two, the palate. That's very interesting. It seems that now here we are at the very last pour. The palate is better than the previous two videos that I did. The previous two, everything was very muted. It was basically rose water. But this seems like it's a little more than what it used to be. Interesting. So let's go ahead and let's do the finish on it. That's good. It's a pretty good finish. It's kind of lighten up the tip of the tongue. Why did it do this? Why did it wait until the very ass end of the bottle, quite literally, to get better? Off the rip, it was very muted. Halfway mark where we did the full review, still kind of muted, turned down a little bit, but it may, now that I think of it, may have gotten better. Now we're here, that last like ounce and a half at best. Now it's pretty good. The nose was better. The palate was better. The finish was much better. Now I do recall that I called this like standing in the middle of a rose garden and drinking puddle water because it did have some earthiness to it. This is much better. This was a much better experience than anything else out of that bottle. The last pour literally made me kind of like it. Just in case you didn't see any of the previous videos or don't remember, this is a version of Hendricks. This is the Cabinet of Curiosities line. I haven't seen another one in their line. They have a multiple, no. Yes, they have multiple expressions in the Hendricks, but there's a few weird ones out there. I can only find this at a few places. This is a limited run. They probably won't do this again, considering the fact that this was a $40-ish bottle. I got it for $25 delivered to my front door. Most places I see this outside of like big box stores are like trying to get rid of it. That's how I got it for $25 delivered, because they were like, this isn't selling, we need to get rid of it. Now, when you do limited editions or limited runs, you're kind of taking a chance. You're gambling. But sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it pays off big. And I don't think this was one of those times. Like I said, you just heard it from the horse's mouth. The last pour of this was much better. It kind of makes me rethink the whole thing. But it is what it is. Facts are there. Off the rip, not so great. Halfway through, a little bit better. A little bit better. Now that we're here and we're ready to chunk this in the bin, now it gets good. Now it starts to get good. Wow, okay. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I doubt I will see this again. Usually when those stores that they have these flash sales where they're just liquidating, they're trying to get rid of it, discontinuation sales, they are literally pricing it to fly off the shelves. And it does. It does fly off the shelves. Sorry. So what do you think? Have you tried this version, Flora Adora? And this is Mr. Randy's first Hendricks. So there's so many more out there. And I'm trying to figure out, I think the next Hendricks I want to get is the original. That way I have an established baseline to compare and then re-ponder this one. I really think I shouldn't have skipped this one. I mean, I shouldn't have skipped the original and gone to this one. I should have just bought this and then put it on the shelf and left it alone, but I couldn't help myself. Curiosity. Curiosity got to me. I climbed all up in that cabinet because I was curious. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. You have a good one.